This video is brought to you by OpenRock. So bone conduction earphones were the first popular open earbud, Shokz being one of the most popular brands. So this type of bud allowed many to listen to their favorite music, but also hear their surroundings at the same time, great when exercising outdoors. So bone conduction works by basically vibrating sound into your inner ear through your skull. Pretty cool tech. But we have been bombarded with a new breed of true wireless open earbuds in the last couple of years that use air conduction, aka a normal speaker that plays sound directly into your ear canal. And there are many pros and cons to both types. So today I'm going to be running through 6 categories, letting you know the main differences between the two types of earbuds and letting you know why I think in most cases bone conduction earbuds just aren't worth it. So let's start with category 1 here, and that's fit. And in terms of comfort, the better option here is generally going to be a true wireless open earbud. Main reason being that the hooks that wrap around your ear are usually thinner. Now I'm going to be showing a few types of open and bone conduction earbuds today, but I'll be focusing slightly more on the OpenRock X from One Audio as they are sponsoring today's video. So you can see the OpenRock X ear hook is noticeably thinner compared to the Shokz OpenRun Pro 2 here, which actually doesn't feel too different on the ear, but if you wear glasses, the thinner the ear hook, the better. Now, wearing glasses with any hook style of earbud is not ideal. A thinner ear hook helps, but how thick or thin the temple of your glasses are, the part that rests on your ear, will determine the best comfort. The best option for glasses wearers is going to be a clip-on style earbud as well. They clip on your ears, so your glasses are free. But a small advantage of bone conduction earbuds is that there's nothing blocking your ear canal at all. So technically, you're going to be able to hear your surroundings the best. With open earbuds, as a driver is close to your ear canal, your hearing is blocked ever so slightly, but you're still going to hear your surroundings almost as well as a bone conduction earbud. Now, if you're looking for the most secure fit, it's a bit closer between both types of buds. Bone conduction earbuds with the distribution of weight around your neck are slightly more secure. And you have that extra peace of mind if you maybe accidentally knock one bud off your ear somehow, the other bud is going to stay on, which is not the case with a true wireless open earbud. But open earbuds can be just as secure as a neckband earbud, as they still have a hook over your ear. There's a very small chance they're going to fall off. And many of the open earbuds that I have tested over 20, allow you to customize the fit with an adjustable ear hook. As you can see here on the OpenRock X, you can adjust that driver up and down, so no matter your ear size, you can really lock the bud in place and it's not going to budge at all. Now, another advantage of open earbuds is the lack of a neckband, giving you more freedom. This is handy if you're like at the gym, like lying on your back for an exercise or like lying down for a bench press. If you use a neckband style earbud, it's going to kind of push the drivers off your ear and it kind of gets in the way a little bit. Not a huge issue, just something to think about. There's only really one circumstance where you're going to have to use a bone conduction earbud, and that's when swimming. In that case, you need to use an earbud like the Shokz OpenSwim Pro. Since Bluetooth doesn't really work underwater, you actually have to store your music onto the earbuds themselves, kind of old school MP3 style. You also just can't use a bone conduction earbud or even an open earbud underwater because the sound quality is just going to be terrible. So the OpenSwim Pro actually uses a specific underwater EQ mode that works with earplugs that will kind of magically allow you to get pretty decent sound quality while swimming. So it's a pretty niche, but a very useful earbud. Now, category 2 is controls, and this is an area where either option you go for, you're going to be fine. So bone conduction earbuds mainly use a physical button control, so you can control everything: play, pause, track control, volume, and summoning your device's voice assistant. Some open earbuds use touch controls, but I prefer button controls as it's just more reliable. And if you're wearing gloves, you can still use them. So the OpenRock X uses physical buttons. You can control everything and they work great. Now, category 3 is portability, and this is an area where open earbuds get the win again. As bone conduction earbuds are just larger and usually have pretty large cases, so I wouldn't really call them pocketable. Open earbud cases are much thinner and more compact. Some are quite large, like the OpenRock X case. It's a little bit of a chunker, but that's probably the only downside of these buds, to be honest. I'd say it's still pocketable, but you're definitely gonna feel and probably see it in your pocket. You can buy a mini case, which is much thinner and won't charge the earbuds. You can still power them on or off though, but this is an additional cost to consider. But the fact that open earbuds have a charging case gives them another advantage when it comes to category 4, battery life. So these more budget-friendly bone conduction earbuds I got from Amazon advertise 6 to 8 hours of battery life. The Shokz OpenRun Pro 2 advertised 12 hours at 75% volume, which is going to be more than enough for most use. Now, like I said, I've tested a lot of open earbuds and battery life ranges anywhere from 5 hours to 19 hours, which is pretty insane. It's actually the older One Audio buds that have that 19-hour battery life. The OpenRock X kind of sits in the middle with 12 hours of battery life at 70% volume. The charging case also gives you 3 additional charges, so you're getting 48 hours of total battery life before having to charge a case. So this means you won't have to charge your earbuds as often as the bone conduction buds. Now, a unique advantage of the OpenRock X is that you can power either earbud on or off just by holding down on the button on either earbud. So let's say you need to go for a 24-hour run. Technically, you could use one earbud for 12 hours, wait till it dies, turn the other earbud on for the remaining 12 hours, you run in 24 hours non-stop with some audio playing. Don't know who's running 24 hours. I'm sure people do this. I'm pretty sure I've heard of this. I'm not doing it though. And that is another small advantage of open earbuds. You can just use one earbud at a time while you just leave the other one lying somewhere or leave it in the case. So this is handy if you're maybe like lying on your side, lying on a pillow, and you only want to use one earbud without the other earbud digging into your ear, which you can't really do on a neckband style. I mean, you sort of could, but it's a bit more intuitive with the open earbuds. But now, category 5 is the IP rating, so dust and water resistance. Now here, it really depends on the bud and the brand that you go for. Some buds are water resistant, some are waterproof, some also have some dust resistance. So the Shox Open Run Pro 2 is IP55 dust and water resistant. The Shox Open Swim Pro is IP68 dust and waterproof, where the OpenRock X is IPX5 water resistant, so you get no dust resistance, but they're going to work fine for a sweaty workout or use in the rain. And here are the IP ratings of all the open earbuds that I've tested. But if you want to see all these specs and compare all the earbuds nice and easily, I've actually got a free spreadsheet linked below where you can check all my notes. It's like a mini review for all the buds, so check it out below. But now onto the final round, sound quality. And again, open earbuds get the win here, with the main reason being that the speaker driver is just closer to your ear canal. Traditional bone conduction earbuds don't sound that bad, but they're a bit lacking when it comes to bass and producing a rich, detailed sound. An exception here though is the Shox Open Run Pro 2, as they use a combination of bone conduction and air conduction. So they do push out some pretty decent bass and do sound better than traditional bone conduction earbuds, like the Sonoto buds I've got here and Shox Open Swim Pro, which can also be used like a regular bone conduction earbud. You don't have to use them when swimming. But on the Open Run Pro 2, since the air conduction driver is still further away from the ear canal, most open earbuds just sound better. With more bass that hits deeper, treble is more crisp, with a better mid-range, so vocals are fuller and just more realistic. And with open earbuds, since the driver is closer to the ear canal, the drivers aren't having to work overtime to push out a rich sound at high volumes. So open earbuds generally go a lot louder and sound better with richer bass at higher volumes. So for example, comparing the Shox Open Run Pro 2 sound against the OpenRock X, the OpenRock X just have a richer sound overall at low and high volumes. They're one of the better sounding open earbuds that I've tested. You can also customize the sound in the app with EQ presets, and the band EQ gives you some nice freedom to tailor the sound a bit as well. I also like that they have left and right audio balance, which can balance out the sound if the buds might not sit in your ear completely symmetrically, or if you have some hearing loss. But comparing the Open Run Pro 2 to the traditional bone conduction earbuds, the Pro 2 sound much better than those buds. So you can probably see why I think open earbuds are the way to go over bone conduction earbuds. Unless swimming, then you want to go for a swimming specific earbud. But if you want more info on the OpenRock X or want to grab a pair for yourself, I've got links down in the description below. My free spreadsheet is also linked down there, so check that out. For more on open earbuds, check out my playlist right here. Thanks a lot for tuning in, stay picky, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye now.